What would you say in terms of misconceptions or stigmas that you would like to dispel, stereotypes that maybe you feel are unfair, so that the general audience can understand you better?
For myself, I'm a leader. I'm the one where when people need advice they go to, and when I came out, a lot of people looked at me and said, what? And they just, because of the way I am, I'm not what some would consider a stereotypical gay male. The stigma that if you're gay you have to be a certain way isn't true. That's not. You can be anyone, you're you. And when people told me, you're not the stereotypical gay person, I said to them, when have I ever been the stereotypical anything? Mm-hmm. And that really opened their eyes. But that stereotype that you have to be a certain way is not true at all.
So you're so much more than one.
Yes.
One aspect of who you are, right?
Yes.
And for you, Megan, is there anything that you would say?
Absolutely. I would say probably the biggest misconception that I find is people saying that in today's day and age, everybody's open, like there is no discrimination. And I mean, partially what I've experienced, but so much of what I've heard stories of people confiding in me as a leader in the community, it really demonstrates that it's not gone away. It's certainly improved, and I'm very grateful for that. But I don't want, I fear that people think that it's not as big of a problem as it sometimes can be.
So is bullying a major element of what you would deal with as a student or as a person in your community? Do you feel like bullying is a major issue?
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
I've seen, mostly I think it's bullying, not even so much in the schools anymore, because we have progressed so far with GSAs, and the Run for Rocky has certainly helped with that. But I find bullying in the community, in businesses, in just social networks, amongst parents and other respected adults. I think that's now the biggest area we need to look at educating.
Okay. So yes, there's strides that have been made, and I can, as a teacher, I can feel that there's been a shift over the last few years in our school culture, which gives me some hope. But I respectfully, I agree with you that there's still more to be done in that area in terms of understanding. What advice would you give to people in the community so that we can be more compassionate and maybe not put our foot in our mouth so much?
The advice I'd have to give to people is find someone. Find that one person you can confide in. It doesn't have to be 10 or 100. It's one person you know when you've had a rough day or when somebody has said something that has hurt you, that you know you can go to, that you know you can say, this happened, I just need someone to talk to. Make sure you have that one person. And then if it grows and you find more and more people, that's even better. But make sure you have at least one person you can tell.
Okay, so for someone who's struggling and trying to figure out, I think that's wonderful advice. What advice would you give to the general public so that people that are business owners or in different situations, that we can be more polite and respectful and understanding of what your needs may be?
Kind of going along the lines of what Nancy had mentioned earlier is ask if you don't know. Don't assume anything. I think the biggest leader of discrimination isn't hateful mindedness. It's just ignorance, and that naivety that people think that they understand or think that they know the answers, but they've never really learned. They don't know anybody who may fall under the LGBTQ spectrum. Find somebody, talk to people who just might know other people, right? I mean, to be educated is probably the best way to
move forward.
Yeah, to move forward.
Yeah. So what is your hope for the future? We have, I think, as a society, made some strides recently. What are your next steps, do you see? How can we continue to evolve?
By all of us being able to, my hopes and dreams are for all of us to be able to just accept, not even just those in the LGBT community, in general, just accept the fact that we are who we are. We're individual human beings with our own ideals and goals. And if other people can accept that, as long as you're not hurting them, that's the ultimate goal that I think we should reach.
Very well said. Megan, what would you say from a college perspective? What would your goals be moving forward?
Looking at the college in particular, I'm hoping that the GSA will continue there, and that all the GSAs in the schools and education throughout the community but ultimately leading towards acceptance as well.
Yes.